The man dodged swipe after swipe until everybody has a lot of smack, but no sense to go along with it. That's the way of the world. Hello everyone, I hope this show finds you well. Welcome to the Brandon Dilworth Show. This is a show of sense and smack. Let me offer my sincere apology for being absent when it came to this very program. I'd been on a creative rut as far as this show, but I didn't have a shortage of good music. And I'll explain about that in a little bit. In fact, you're hearing it right now. Yes, that is a track made by me. Yes, I own the rights to this track. But for now, let's rock and roll. After so much smack has been dealt with, time to get some sense back into the mix. Let's rock and roll with some feel good content. So this past Memorial Day weekend, I went to the Atlanta Jazz Festival, and as always, it was a marvelous time seeing the sights and, more importantly, hearing the sounds of the music that the ancestors created. You know, you may want to consider supporting your local music festival and perhaps buying their official merch, which is what I'm wearing right now. Till then, enjoy my POV of the Atlanta Jazz Festival. So, let me explain my absence in wrestling terms. As you know, I've been a fan for almost 13 years now, and I got a podcast on that, by the way. I'll explain in the end. But let me explain in wrestling terms. Let's say you're in a triple threat match. You're in a match. You have your opponents, your two opponents. You've got your musical rut. You've got your YouTube rut. Your musical rut you can get by pretty easily. You can tangle with that person pretty well. But let's say your YouTube rut is the size of Mark Henry. Yes, that's how large it was. So you decide, you know what, let's just push this to a side for a little bit. Let's just push the YouTube rut to the side. Let's get him out of the ring. Okay? Now you and your musical rut can dance. And your goal is to fulfill a dream that you've had since you've gotten out of high school. The dream of a 19-year-old releasing his first piece of music. And you're gonna record some takes, play some notes, see what you think, see what works with the mood. And you record a few takes, and it could be better, way early here, late here, and then you settle on this one take that's really good, but then it could be better. Then you record another take, and you think, oh, this is worse. And then you record another take, oh, this is much, much worse. I should have gotten the take that I had 2 takes ago.
F***ing thing sucks!
And eventually you got your music right, you've got your notes right, you've got your composition correct, and finally, you have your first EP. It is called Tunes of the Anxious Man. This is where I dive a little deeper into a few depressive parts. And you know, music is a language that can accurately describe how you feel in the present moment. It makes statements that no words can really comprehend. And so that's where the name comes from. That's where my songs come from. And you just heard one of them while I was greeting you. You'll hear a little bit more at the end of the show. You can check out my EP, my first EP, Tunes of the Anxious Man. The link is in the description below. I want to take this opportunity to those who have already listened. Thank you very much. And those that haven't, go check it out after this show, of course. Speaking of the show, you already defeated your musical block. Now you gotta face down Your YouTube rut in Mark Henry. I'm talking Hall of Pain, Mark Henry. I'm talking World's Strongest Slam, Mark Henry. I'm talking throw a production assistant into the dark abyss, Mark Henry. And now you gotta face him down. Now what's gonna what do we do? What do we do? We gonna face him? Who is this? Those that have seen this show before know that I've never been blessed with these kinds of phone calls. I'm just letting it ring right now. I don't like where this is going. Gonna go ahead and see what this voicemail is all about. Here it is.
You have one new message.
I'm the president. I'm the president.
Why am I surprised?
I am not guilty. They screwed me over. This is a travesty. I will say it 34 times. Not guilty. Not guilty. Not.
Main menu.
I thought we were behind this. I've been out for way too long. Everybody has a lot of smack, but no sense to go along with it. That's the way of the world. But thankfully, I released my music, and I'm here at the show, and I'll be here for quite some time. Glad to finally get out of my block and to finally put out Mark Henry and somehow survive. I'm glad you all survived as well. And now it's time for the segment in which we like to ask the question, but why? Now, have you ever been so mad at the world that you decide to challenge the whole neighborhood while carrying a huge machete? You're probably not this guy. Thankfully, after a few profanity-laced moments, this guy decides to answer the call. But why would he want to face a man with a long machete? Well, as you're about to see, this guy is about to prove he is the Superman of the family. The battle drags on for 10 terrifying seconds as the Man in Blue's family looks on. The man dodges swipe after swipe until Blue sweater swings and out goes Machete Man. Maybe next time this guy is so upset, he'll rethink challenging a neighborhood where a fighter's sense beats a trash talker's smack any day. You know, I can't tell you how many times I felt overwhelmed, anxious, less than I should be, and I do these segments to not only help people out, but to hold myself accountable as well. Granted, I barely watch my shows when they're released, but the thing is, we all get stressed at some point in our lives with work, school, and overall just trying to improve our environments and our livelihoods. Just be sure to take it easy in the interim of working hard, and be careful with what you watch and listen to. After all, the mind is nothing to screw with. Ladies and gentlemen, that is it for the show. Thank you so much for watching. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and click on the bell. And speaking of wrestling podcasts, don't forget to check out my podcast, The Kick Back and Kick Out. I do wrestling news, rumors, and stuff in between. It's free on the PSF app on Apple and Android devices, and search me under PSF Central. And be sure to listen to my EP, Tunes of the Anxious Man, available wherever you listen to music. And in fact, in about 10 seconds from now, you're about to hear it. So on that note, stay safe, God bless, happy Juneteenth, and blessed to see another year come June 21st. Don't forget to love yourself and one another.